Today I'm interviewing Brand Pretorius, CEO Momentum Insure. We will be talking about where the brand are today, where the brand is going, and what we can expect from Momentum Insure going forward. Brand, it's an absolute pleasure to interview you today. It's been a while, so I'm very keen to get into the detail. Momentum has been a bit quiet in the last few years, but I think the picture is slowly but surely changing. Talk to me about why being so quiet, and maybe you can also touch on some of the numbers that has been released.
Thanks, Ranette, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to see you again and to have the opportunity to talk a little bit about our business. Yes, you are correct. Momentum Insure was quiet for a while. One day, when I have a little bit of time, I'll write a book. I think about the last 4 or 5 years. It's been quite the roller coaster ride for our business, and we've had the best of times and the worst of times. So, 5 years ago, nearly to this day, we were fortunate enough to acquire the Alexander Forbes insurance business, something that we were extremely excited about. You will know that big mergers and transactions like that have impacts on businesses, even under normal circumstances. In our case, something we didn't know was that the world was going to go into a global pandemic, hard lockdown, and all of a sudden, we had to merge these two entities under an extraordinary set of circumstances.
And it's literally now to the days, 5 years.
Exactly. I was in my role for less than a month when all of this happened. So, we had wonderful plans, a great business case, and business cases, Excel can give you wonderful outcomes. Much of that was out of the window. Learned a lot. Unfortunately, it had an impact on our business's performance. That period of integration also coincided with a very difficult period for our industry. You will again you'll know, and your readers will know about all the challenges the short-term insurance industry faced in this period 22 to sort of perhaps last year, and that had a multiplier effect on our business. So we were deliberately quiet in a way because we had a lot of things to address. But I'm very, very proud of what our team has achieved, and perhaps it's opportune that we speak today. Today, our group released its interim results for the financial year 2025. As a group, we performed exceptionally well. I think it's the strongest performance our group has ever recorded. The earnings we generated in the 6 months was more than what we generated for the entire 2023 as a group. And I think if I have to quote Jeanette, our group chief executive, every single business in the group fired on its cylinder. So we fired on all cylinders, and it was a good day, for us to also be in that group of a business that made a substantial contribution to our group. So you asked a little bit about the numbers. So in our case, we had, from an earnings point of view, our best 6 months in the history of our business.
That is so positive.
So
well done.
Thank you. It's a good achievement. I think my team can be exceptionally proud of what they've achieved, and that's made up by a claims ratio that reduced. If I have to rewind the clock 2 or 3 years, we were operating in the 70s, which you will know and your readers will know. It's not a good place for a short-term insurance business to be. And we are now in the low 50s. Not because we are rejecting claims, because we are applying appropriate actuarial risk, management, pricing, and underwriting principles. So it's a healthy, claims ratio. The entire industry benefited from a little bit better weather in the last 6 months of 2024. So I must obviously just recognize that. Our combined ratio, which is the claims ratio plus our cost to income ratio, is below 90, which is also a good number. I think it's above what the typical insurer in our industry achieves. So all the fundamentals are pointing to a much healthier business. We were able to contribute a large dividend, 350 million, to our group's dividend, where 3 years ago we required a little bit of capital in our business, to meet our risk appetite requirements. So a very, very different business today. New business, we grew 20% year on year across all the different channels we play in. So, yeah. I started this journey with lovely blonde hair, and now you can see, you know, there's not a lot left. My wife says that I give away her age.
You give away her age.
Because she looks a lot younger than what I do. So, but you know, very, very grateful to be in this position.
Well done, first of all. I think that is really positive news. While you were talking, I wanted to ask you what you think is the biggest contributor, but I think you have mentioned and highlighted quite a few things. I also wanted to ask you, quote unquote, that you pay all valid claims. You know, there's a billboard out there. We pay 100% of all valid claims. I think you will say the same, right?
I will say the same. I will say the same, but maybe to contextualize, you know, what we've been through from an underwriting and a pricing point of view, and how that translates into, you know, good outcomes for customers. Because
that's the end of the day, the most important thing.
That's
right?
ultimately, you know, where, you know, why
Challenges. Our industry face challenges, and your business, obviously, you have mentioned a lot of things, but if you have to mention maybe one, maybe two things, what would you say are the things that we as an industry and you as Momentum Insure see as your biggest challenges at the moment?
Yeah, that's a easy but extremely complex question, I suppose. Easy to ask. It's a complex, multi-dimensional thing. So I'm going to just touch on two things. So I think, we are doing business in a complex operating environment, both as a country, but also of late, more so globally. There are a number of sort of macro developments which we don't all, I think, understand exactly what the impact will be. So that is that adds risk, it adds complexity. In our country, it may have a whole host of implications on exchange rate, supply chain, inflation. So understanding that, I think, is important. The impact of that probably is that, and we are seeing it, is that our industry struggles to really grow. So we grow sort of with inflation or maybe a little bit more, and we have a very competitive industry with some world-class businesses. So to grow in that context is a challenge. So the industry, I think, must grow. Insurance penetration in our country is, in relative terms, reasonably low. Vehicle insurance penetration is lower than what it should be. Our vehicle populations are getting older. That makes everybody's lives a little bit more risky. So industry challenge for us to grow as a business, to keep our shareholders satisfied, to win market share then is a big challenge. The second is it's not becoming cheaper to run a short-term insurance business. Everybody is under some cost pressure, so it's finding ways, and obviously through technology, to optimize and create more efficiency, drive more productivity. So I think that's an industry-wide challenge. In our business's case, that's probably the biggest thing that we have to get right with growth. Those two things, if they work in unison, will help. And then, understanding an appropriate application of generative AI, I think there's great opportunity, but there's also, I suppose, some risk, and it's uncharted territory for all of us.
Yeah, in the previous part of the conversation, I wanted to touch on tech and training when you spoke about client service, but technology is most certainly having a huge impact. The other thing that you haven't mentioned yet, but I know that there is a drive within Momentum Insure on, I think, probably the bigger Momentum Group, on the whole issue around climate change. I know we don't have to delve a lot into that, but just your general view on the bigger impact and where this is going, because it's a reality.
Yeah, so I wanted to make that point. I'm still often surprised that one encounters one or two people who are climate change denialists. It really doesn't make sense. So it's an obvious reality. So that has multiple implications for us as insurers. We are not unique, but so everybody is focusing on understanding sort of geographical exposure, understanding flood exposure, getting better data, integrating with third-party data providers that can help you simulate and understand so that you can select and price and manage risk better. So it is a reality. If I look at our own business, 2022 calendar year, 23 and 24, the rand value of claims as a result of natural perils was significantly more than what the average over the last 10 years was. So that's a reality. Yeah. We had a extraordinary 6 months in the last 6 months of 2024, which helped a little bit, but I think it obviously will normalize. So there's a lot of work that we have to do. The last comment that I'll make on this is, in our country, unfortunately, two other factors contribute to the impact of climate change, and that's urbanization and the lack of infrastructure development and maintenance. So, perhaps on that front, to the extent that it is viable and possible, the way that the industry engages local and national government to give that attention to the extent that is necessary, I think is a critical thing for us to solve collectively, because if we don't, it will have proper consequences for insurers and clients alike.
It's something I wanted actually to touch on, is this whole public-private partnership story. I think we've only seen the start of that. A lot of the things that we as an industry can get involved in will ultimately help us, but it's also a money thing, right? So partnerships and collaborations are critical, but it has to make sense, right?
Sure, but I think credit must go to those competitors in our industry who
that
already
really,
do it.
And there are a few nice examples.
There are wonderful examples which I hope that one can see more of, and obviously in our business's case, we are now in a position to sort of think about these kinds of things a lot more, and to make our own contribution. Actually, I was provided with an opportunity to consider something like that earlier today through a competitor company in partnership with them, and Guardrisk, who's part of our group. So
we'll wait with bated breath for that development, and excited about that. There are many things that I want to talk about, but I really enjoyed our conversation. I am really happy for where the business is going for you. Well done on the whole story. Our audience is the brokers. Maybe a last message to those who do business with you and those who don't.
Thanks, Rianet. So I think the first message is, where Rianet started earlier. Momentum was a little bit quiet for a while, but we are back and we are confident and we're on the front foot. We are looking forward to engaging more brokers and for them to support us more. We know that we must earn and deserve that, and we are going to do our very best to be the kind of partner that intermediaries deserve and what your clients want. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it and thoroughly enjoyed it as always.
Thanks, Ronnie. Thank you very much.